Hi, I'm Rick Osowski, and welcome to another episode of Microservices TV. We're here today with Erin, and we're going to be talking about WebSphere Liberty and what that means in the world of microservices. So I'll let Erin intro herself, and then we'll get started.
I'm Erin Schnabel, and I got the rare privilege of being able to work on Liberty in the prototype before the prototype. So it's actually something I worked from the ground up.
From inception?
From inception, yeah. It was really fun. You don't get to do that very often.
So why don't you explain what is Liberty? I mean, a lot of reviewers probably know of WebSphere, but they may not be as familiar with the concept of Liberty in itself.
So Liberty is a small, lightweight runtime. We built it to be the antithesis of the usual WebSphere runtime, if I'm honest. So it's small, it's flexible, you can put together your features in different ways. One of the things I love about Liberty is you can completely right-size your runtime. At the moment, we have really good like Maven and Gradle integration tools, so you can download your kernel and then have from Maven Central now, by the way. And so you get Liberty, and then you can put just the features you need on it, and so you get like exactly the little ball that you need. It's perfect.
So it seems like that's the perfect runtime evolution from our, as you said, the antithesis of our WebSphere runtimes for something like microservices, where we're looking for right-sized infrastructure, right-sized code, right-sized ops, and then it really makes it seem to be a perfect fit.
You would almost think we did it on purpose,
exactly.
Which we totally did. So yeah, it's built to be small and to fit in that kind of environment, in a cloud-native environment, and yeah, I'm kind of a big fan because I wrote it, but it's good.
That's good. What are some of the good things that customers are doing with Liberty in a maybe not specific microservices environment, but something moving towards a microservices cloud native type role where they're using it the way we envisioned it?
So most of the time it's being used as a JAX-RS runtime, right? REST being the protocol of choice for microservices or that kind of thing. So you have really nice, tight JAX-RS runtimes that are really tiny. They use it for those. We do know there's some use of collectives.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what collectives are.
No, why don't you explain what those are?
So collectives are the way we do distributed topologies.
So clustering?
Clustering is a management grouping in that, but when you look at how we manage collectives, it's in our traditional, we had cells and nodes is how you built out your big distributed topology. With collectives, it's much more fluid than that.
Okay.
So it's much more along the lines of how not IBM or application server products would do distributed topologies. So it's got your collective controller, which has high availability, rule of 3, and then you add and remove collective members. So you can actually, if you had, for example, an existing WebSphere system, you could actually build a first pass of a valid microservices architecture just using collectives and auto-scaling and dynamic routing. It is awesome. So you turn on those two features, and then as your services come and go, they tell the collective controller that, and then the collective controller works with our plugin, service registry, service discovery, done.
So there's a lot of the power of microservices built in right there already.
It is.
So
It is.
That's
It
awesome.
really is. And yeah, we did that a couple years ago, so we were ahead of the curve.
That's even better. So, do we have a lot of this information out there for customers to use, for users to get? And I mean, is this something that they can just go and download and play with? Or
Yes,
I mean,
it's
what's available?
So wasdev.net is where all of the Liberty stuff is.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's all there. And you can pull down for development, for play, you can pull down the whole thing and mess with them. We have a lot of samples and demos and walkthroughs and all kinds of stuff there.
Now, is that something where for Liberty you have to manage the infrastructure yourself, or are there ways that we can make it easier so you could run it in something on Bluemix, for example, or in another container environment or something like that?
So Liberty is super flexible. There are build packs to run it in Bluemix. We actually have Liberty running in every cloud provider, so it runs on Amazon and it runs everywhere.
Runs on Amazon, Bluemix, in
Azure,
both and
everywhere.
Cloud Foundry and inside containers on Bluemix.
Yes.
And then just containers wherever you would want to run Docker-based containers.
That's right. One of the samples that we have now, we can stand up. I actually use Docker Compose to stand up a local development environment, and then you can push that up, and yeah, it's very Docker friendly.
Excellent. So I'm sure we'll have some more examples of Liberty and inside the microservices world throughout our talks here. But I mean, thanks for the time today. And I mean, we'll definitely circle back and make sure you check out wasdev.net for Liberty and all the power in microservices. And for Erin, I'm signing off. Rick Osowski, thanks again. See ya.